Hi everybody, welcome to the Self Soul. My name is Gladys and this is your midweek one card draw. Although last week I drew two cards. So the one card draw is that every week I'm trying to do it weekly. I draw a card and I reflect on that card for the week ahead. I see how it plays out in my life. Which is the beauty of the tarot, is that a card takes on different meaning based on our reflections, our experiences, and other things, other cards with it. But this is just my way of showing how the tarot, how practical the tarot is, how beautiful it is in helping us learn lessons and interrogate life and grow spiritually. It's such a powerful tool. So so that's what I do. I reflect on the previous and then I draw a card for the week ahead. So last week, there's a kite flying over. Oh my goodness! Oh, it's so beautiful. If I was, if this was a phone, I could have just shown quickly. Anyway, the laptop I have to reset and all that. Anyway, so last week's card was the Seven of Cups. In fact, I did last week's video twice. The first one didn't work. The last week's the card was the Seven of Cups in John Holland's deck, which I've been using for the series. He says it's called Daydreams and Decisions. And that came out first, and then I had to redo the video, and I thought, let me do another one online, and it's Control, which is the Strength card. So let's look at the Seven of Cups first. Seven of Cups, in the common depiction of the Seven of Cups, you see a person with seven cups in front of them, and those cups have many things. Each cup has something different in it, and the person looks a bit confused. And I'm sure you will know, when you have too many choices, it can become quite confusing. Sometimes, like, less choice is better than too much, right? But the Seven of Cups teaches us discernment. It teaches us how to choose wisely, and it's also a reminder that we need to choose wisely, that all that glitters is not gold, like seven cups and all these dreamy, it kind of reminds you of the dreamy stuff, and like, so many of those cups might not be as real as the one cup, and one of those cups is real, or maybe two. And you are left thinking, what is the best option? So Seven of Cups is a good teacher for us to practice discernment. In a recent reading I did, the Seven of Cups came up quite differently, and it really came up, and I think it was because of the other cards in the rest of the reading, and that's the other thing about the tarot, it does depend on what's around. And it came up, and what came out for me was that it was about dreaming big. It was about saying, okay, I've been doing a lot of hard work, and I've got to a point, even if it's for this time now, where spirit or my guides are saying, dream, do the manifestation. I always say this, that I take that law of attraction manifestation lightly, and I will do a talk on that sometime, because it's very important to me, and I think it's something that I feel strongly about. I will talk about it. But in this case, I really saw that the people were, the group that had chosen that the people that had chosen that group were being invited to think big, to fill all those cups with the dreamings. And that's also important. It's important to dream big. It is important to put our dreams out there. But it's also important that we don't be too restrictive and too tight about it, and too set in our ways about it. We need to do it with a lightness and a joy, and allow for the best thing to come to us, because even sometimes, even if that best thing doesn't look like the best thing. So the other thing that came up for me in the week past was about choosing your battles. Yeah, being, not everything has to be taken on head on, even if we feel strongly about it, even if something really hits us hard, we don't have to fight about everything. You know, I know I'm gentle and soft and all of that, and people might see that part of me, but I can also be a fighter, and sometimes I can take things on very strongly. And I think that the Seven of Cups can be a reminder of being astute, being circumspect maybe about which battles are meant to be fought now, or which battles are meant to be fought, which things can be let go of, you know. I think that's another thing that came to me in this past week. And then the other, you know, the one day I kept getting this thing about being chosen. Now, we're going to talk about the strength card just now, which is the ego card. So this is interesting what I'm about to say. And I kept asking guidance, oh, what are you saying? Are you saying I'm being chosen? And, you know, I got the Seven of Cups in this particular deck in reverse. And if you look at this Seven of Cups in reverse, 6 cups are going one way and one is facing the sun. So it was such a beautiful, powerful thing of saying, yes, yes, you're chosen. And I think what it was talking about, and what it talks about, and what it means here in this conversation is about being aware of when you are being called to your purpose. Or I know that's a word that gets bandied about, but our purposes don't have to be like, our purpose doesn't have to be about anyone else other than ourselves, you know, but coming to the place where you know that you are moving in the right direction, that you are listening to your guidance, and that your guidance, your inner wisdom is your lead, your higher self, it could be Jesus, it could be a Hindu deity, it could be a past loved one, it could be your ancestors, it could be angels, whoever you believe in. It's knowing that you are following step by step as you are being led, you know, and you have a sense of what it is you are here for. And I think that's the other beauty of that. That was such a lovely, lovely thing that Spirit showed me about the Seven of Cups. Yeah, and then here's another thing. Okay, how it's played out in my life and in the week past. It's about doing so many things. So I'm busy with Soulful Soul. I have the education series that I've been busy on, and I'm still doing the work behind the scenes. I've just started a new contract, which I really needed, and I'm so grateful for that. So I've just started with that, and I'm still doing Soulful Soul stuff. And I think then the caution then is to choose wisely what you need to do and what can hold on. For example, the education series, I will carry on doing the videos as they come, because there are a lot of people that have shown an interest in discussing that, and I'm so thankful for that. So I'll keep doing those videos, but I won't do the editing now because that takes so much work. And I will just put a notice on Facebook to say that education series is ongoing, you know, blah, blah, blah. And so in that way, then I focus on the work that I'm doing, my income generation, this project that I've started. And I keep doing the tarot readings, and I'm also doing other stuff for my own, you know, personal development or Soulful Souls development in the background. Also writing, by the way. I've committed to a process with the group of people that I've been with before, and I'll talk about them sometime, Kate and Sarah, and they are doing a Finish Your Book in November. It's something I've started already. I'm working on oracle cards, Soulful Soul oracle cards, and that's the push. So I've said to myself, okay, I can do those 3 things without, I'll just pace myself. I'll do them. I'll just keep planning. I'll meditate. I'll keep, just going within so that I can handle those things. But I think that's okay. I put those that are really time consuming, I put them aside, and so that I can also do them at a lovely pace, and at an enjoyable pace. And so I still put out good stuff, stuff that people enjoy. And the phrase that came to me is, if you want something to be done, give it to a busy person. Okay. Yeah, so that came to me. Like, I think sometimes when we are sometimes we can be lazy when there's too little work to do. Let me speak for myself. But then when there's a lot, we get super organized so that we can get more done. So that's the other thing that came to me about 7 of Cups. And then the other thing, then the other card was Strength card. And the Strength card is about taming the ego. It's also about embracing the ego. I think we can't tame the ego if we don't know it, if we don't understand it. It's about looking within and being able to know. It's about not letting ego control us, but us managing ego. That's how I see it. For me, how it played out, and the thing about the Strength card is that knowing when to act. How the Strength card is shown, in this one it says control, and that is about, you see the eyes looking within. It's about knowing oneself. It's about being able to look within, and in this card it's talking about controlling the ego. But for me, I think it's about using gentle strength, knowing when to use gentle strength to handle a situation, to make a situation, to transform a situation, or even a person. And it is about awareness. So my puppy, my doggy, she's gone wild. She's just running around like a mad thing. What's happening, baby? Oh my goodness. Yeah, there's a time of the day when they just run crazily, and normally they run together, they'll fight each other, ambush each other and stuff like that. But today she's just gone like a mad thing on her own little run. Okay. Okay, so it's in the Rider-Waite, the original tarot, there's a woman taming a lion. It refers to gentleness winning over harshness. So woman taming this brutal beast, but it also refers to the beast within, that ego within. And when, instead of it controlling us, we control it. And I don't like the term control, but it's more like we manage. I think for me, that's what it's about. It's managing that and managing situations. Recently, I spoke to a friend. I did a reading for someone, and we were talking about a situation, and I was talking about the whole Ho'oponopono, which I'll share with you sometime. But it's a simple thing of sending love to a situation. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. It's simple, it's like that. It's Hawaiian, I think. And it's so simple but so powerful. It really is. It just shifts energy. I don't know how these things work, but they do. And it might be a mindset. And what I was saying is for her to pour that over the situation. Now, I just want to say something here. I don't believe that women should always be doing that loving act. And that's not the point of what I was saying. The point was that sometimes that is what is needed for you. And it always comes back to you. It always comes back to ourselves. We are meant to live a wonderful life, and so many people can't live that wonderful life. And if we can get more people to live that wonderful life and start with ourselves, the more fulfilled we are, the more we are, the more self-full we are as humans, the more we interact with other people in that way. And if a situation requires gentleness, if it can be dealt with that love, if you can give loving energy to it, why not? If that makes us feel better. If you think about it, if you go into a situation all guns blazing, and it's stressing you, what good is that better for you than going into the situation with a calmness and a gentleness and a loving heart? And again, what I'll say is that is for you. If that's what's working for you, then use that by all means. And that's what that's what for me the strength card is. It's about doing that, but also doing that in a situation, in pouring that on a situation that might feel really heavy, especially if the situation feels heavy, and you can't see the way out. Just sending a loving, healing energy to it can make you feel so much calmer, and then see what happens after that. I'm not saying we don't need to do the fighting. Sometimes that's what's required, right? But we can start with that gentleness. There was something else I wanted to say, and I think it's linked to the strength card with the Seven of Cups. I think that with the two cards being together, I think that the message is using that gentle strength to help the ego, the self, be discerning about choices. So using that gentleness, so that it's our higher self making those choices, and not the base self, which is what I'm seeing as ego. Okay, so that's my current. That's how I experienced it this week. Those were my reflections for the week gone by. And okay, well, two cards flew out, and they're two contradictory cards. The one is challenging times, which is the Five of Wands, and the other is the Sun. So funny, last week's card was the Leo card. This is also a card associated with Leo because Leo is ruled by the Sun. This is a card associated with competition and competing interests. There is one other thing that I want to say about the strength card and the ego stuff. I know why it was in my life. And there were a lot of ego triggerings for me in this week gone by. And there again, it was like, what do you challenge about and what do you just accept, And also just confronting why those things were so upsetting to me and owning them. And just finding their place in myself, in my thoughts, in my heart, yeah. If that makes sense to you, I just wanted to share. If that makes sense to you, maybe you experience something like that as well. Okay, beloved, so I'm not going to talk too much about those cards. I'll work with them in the week ahead, and I will be back next week and share my views and my experiences of that card. Okay, I'll chat with you again soon. Bye.